Professor Emeritus at Harvard Law School, author of The Preventative State, and one of Jeffrey Epstein's former defense attorneys, Alan Dershowitz. Good morning, Professor. Let's get right to this. Generally, prosecutors share the evidence with the defense. So if there was a list, you would know about it. The FBI, DOJ says it doesn't exist. Is there an Epstein client list?
Absolutely not. There never has been. Jeffrey Epstein never made a list or created a black book or anything of any people who may have had improper sex with any of the young women. What did happen is the FBI interviewed people, and the courts, judges, redacted the names of some of the people from the FBI files and from other material that was presented to the court. I know who those people are because I obviously did a thorough investigation. And even though the names are redacted from context, I could figure out who they are. None of them are current public officials or elected officials or current prominent people. Some are dead, some are retired, but there are no smoking guns. Moreover, we don't know whether any of these allegations are true, because among the information that's been suppressed has been negative information about the accusers, because the courts have basically said, look, these are accusers of victims, and we're not going to give their names, we're not going to give negative information about them. So what I've said from the very beginning is everything ought to be released. That is, every accused person's name, every accuser, all the information about the accusers, so that we in the court of public opinion can make our own assessment about whether or not these accusations are credible. Some are not. Obviously, we know that from experience.
Yeah, so, obviously you said there is no list. I've also heard you say, though, that Pam Bondi isn't the reason why the information in this case isn't being released. So if it's not her, because it was the DOJ and the FBI that have said, we're not releasing any information, there's no list, who is to blame?
Two federal judges in New York who have presided over these cases. And these judges have redacted the material. And the media could go to these judges now and under the First Amendment seek to have the names released. Now, it wouldn't be fair to release just the names of the people accused without also releasing information about the accusers so that fairly there can be an assessment. I'll give you an example. There's a woman named Sarah Ransom who made accusations that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were involved in pedophile activities. After an investigation, she admitted to New Yorker magazine that she made up the whole story. And so it would be unfair, for example, to release the names of the accused in a situation like that without also releasing the information showing that the woman herself admitted that she made up the whole story. There are people out there who have gotten lots and lots of money from making accusations. Some are probably true, some may not be true, and the public has the right to judge that based on all the information, not just information selectively released by judges.
Yeah, I think one of those I have seen has called on that is actor Kevin Spacey, who has also had a lot of other issues related to his conduct. He says, I think the same theory, he wants that information released for the same reason.
I agree. And look, the public has the right to know, but the accused people also have the right to have information released that would show that the accusations are questionable or false. In some instances, they may be true. We just don't know because there's never been a trial. Remember, the only thing Epstein has ever been convicted of, he pleaded guilty of 2 offenses, having massages from 2 women, one over the age of consent, one 17 and a half years old. Those are the only convictions. Then there was an indictment against him, which included many people, but that never came to trial. The only thing that went to trial was his former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's now serving a long prison sentence because Epstein's dead and she's the only person left to be tried. But the idea that there are many, many people out there who are getting away with things, I've seen no evidence to support that.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.